as we continue to wrap up the NFL draft. And I think one of our favorite prospects is a 7th rounder from Kennesaw State, Travis Bell.
I mean, I love Travis Bell, but I don't think I love him to the level that you love him after you broke down the tape, and I think you're now calling him, Superman, Super Bell?
Well, the guy we're bringing on the show right now probably understands that reference right away. The head coach at Kennesaw State, Brian Bohannon, joining us right now. Coach, thanks so much for jumping on today. Congratulations on the school getting their first ever NFL draft pick.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. What an awesome day for us and our university and for Travis Bell, man. Great day. And I tell you what, it's a great day for Chicago Bears. So we're awful excited for Travis. I don't think you'll get a better young man that's going to be more committed to doing things the way they need to be done for the Bears to be successful. So we're really excited.
So, Coach, that Superman reference I was just showing these guys some of the tape. I was watching it this morning, and he just loves to finish plays, doesn't he? I was watching one run stop, I should say, against Cincinnati. You guys did play the Bearcats this past season, and he's got some good film against an FBS level school there. And one play, he's getting double teamed, he's getting held back, and all of a sudden he just kind of pops through it and leaps through the air like Superman to help make the tackle. That's just who this guy is, isn't it?
You're absolutely correct. That's who he is, and that's how he plays the game. You know, here we take a lot of pride in our effort, attitude, and toughness. We call it EAT, and Travis is that. You watch him at the point of attack, he makes a lot of plays, but watch him chase the ball down the field. Watch him go make plays sideline to sideline. You know, for a guy that weighs 300-plus pounds, to watch him run around and make plays is it's fun to watch. And I think that's where you guys are referenced a little the Super Bell, just because of not what he does at the point of attack, but how passionate he is about the game. One thing you'll find out about Travis, when he flips a switch, when he goes between the white lines, you need to get out of the way now. The guy, he's on a mission. He's got a little bit of anger about the way he plays, which is what you want a defensive lineman to have.
Brian Bohannon, the head coach at Kennesaw State, with us here as we're talking about Bears draft pick Travis Bell, who Ryan Poles clearly fell in love with. It seems like on another level than he has with some players. Brian, you know him obviously probably as well as anyone in the football world. What drew you to want him to help him along the way? And I hear that there's a special connection with his mom, and also apparently he had a job as well where he was carrying a knife along with him when he's showing up to football practice. There's a lot of layers here.
Yeah, so Travis comes from very little. He's the story you hear about that doesn't have much at home. His mom was there, and they got a great relationship, but he does not have a lot. College graduate at any point in time in his family is probably not even a topic of conversation. And when he got here, he struggled. I'll be honest with you. He struggled just getting in line with being what's required for being a student athlete in college. And he and I had multiple conversations. And to his credit, he kind of fought his way through it and ended up being what we knew he would be as a player, because we really felt that way about him coming out as a player. But not only that, he became a leader on our football team that all the guys would go to and respected. And the thing about it is he's got as big a heart as you could imagine. Family's really important to him. If he trusts you, he'll do anything for you. He'll go to war for you. He'll fight for you. He'll do anything. And he's really a mild-mannered, big heart until you get him between the white lines and get him pissed off, and then he's a different person.
So just to follow up on that real quick, I watched the video that you guys did on him, and he talks about just real basic stuff that he needed to learn as a college student: washing dishes, washing his clothes, and just structure, period. And so, I just think there's a stigma out there, he's not smart enough to go to college and this stuff, but it really doesn't take into consideration. The dude may have plenty of intelligence. He just hasn't had the right guidance, been in the right environment to do it. It sounds like this is a great example of somebody who, when you opened a door for him, he was able to walk on through, and with some trials and tribulations along the way.
Yeah, I think, adversities makes you who you are. That's part of life, right? You gotta go through some of that stuff. You got to fall down and get back up and be better at it. And I think there's no question, he's a smart young man. He's intelligent. He just didn't know. He didn't understand the structure. He didn't understand how that worked. And this is what, for us, the game is about. So we open a door for a young man who otherwise would be on the streets, probably in jail one day. We give him an opportunity to come in and use his God-given talents to get a degree, and now he's got a chance to go play at the NFL. This is what, for us, this game's about. This is what football's about. This is what college football is about. So I don't think you could find a better story. And you guys talk about all the different layers. There's a lot of them just about him and who he is and how far he's come as a young man.
Brian, when he was drafted, kind of what was your reaction? Can you paint the picture? What were you kind of doing in the moment when this all unfolded?
So, we knew he had a chance late. We did, you never know in the draft what's going to happen. So I had really not watched a whole lot of the draft. I was waiting, and I actually sat down and started watching towards the back end of the draft. And I guess at my house we're streaming. So my chief of staff calls me, and he's in absolute panic. He's like, he just got drafted. He just got drafted. And it hadn't popped on my screen yet. And then it popped up as I'm talking to him. And he was excited. And then all of a sudden, social media for all our players, our staff, just everybody here was just, communicating via social media how far they were for Travis. Because I know y'all hear, it just couldn't happen to a better man. Like, he is an awesome young man who's come a long way. It's awesome for our university because it's a first. We've made a lot of history here when we started this program, but this is another huge step in that. And he's so humble about it too. He doesn't, he just handles it the right way. So yes, that's what happened in the moment. We were all, and then it was immediately, and I'm not a great social media guy, so I'm trying to come up with a decent tweet that doesn't sound bad, to put out there something, right? Because I'm not a big social media guy. So, but then all the stuff followed. So it was an awesome moment for sure.
So, Coach, hearing Bears general manager Ryan Poles talk about him, he seems to take it even further than you have, and you've obviously been around this kid for a while now. He called him one of his favorite humans ever, and that when he came into the building to visit, neither one wanted to leave the room. How aware were you of the Bears' interest? And could you, because I know that they call the coaches and they do digging. Like, how much were you aware that specifically the Bears loved him, and I guess even from a scheme standpoint, how Travis Bell fits what the Bears do defensively?
Yeah, we knew a little. We knew he'd been evaluated. We knew after his pro day, and then some of the visits that his stock had gone up. He had a really good pro day. We knew how good he was, but I think he needed to put that out there for others as well. So we knew a little bit about what the Bears, how they felt about him, and some other, organizations going into this. But y'all know how this goes. You never know really how something's going to happen, in the moving parts of a draft, and you get towards the end. So, but to me, listening and to both sides, man, what a great fit. I listened to the press conference for the GM and the head coach and just talking about their culture and what the Bears are trying to establish and how they're trying to do it. Travis is a great fit. He's a heck of a player, but he's a great fit culturally. He's used to that kind of stuff, and he'll jump right in and be ready to go.
Specifically, Coach, what does he do well right now, and where do you think he has room for improvement, something he'll be working on?
He's, the thing is, Travis is not necessarily he's your 6'6'1". I don't know what he measures, but he is powerful. He is powerful. He is strong. When he puts his hands on you, he's going to dent whoever's in front of him. It doesn't matter the size. He's going to do that. He's athletic, and he plays with a passion. You talk to the guy, and you're like, man, he's the most humble, soft-spoken guy on the planet. But I'm going to tell you, when he gets out there and starts competing, especially when you get him a little needled and get him dialed up really good, you'll see a different side of him that to me is how you play defense. So I think I think there's some things he's going to do really well. He's going to have to learn how to be a pro like a lot of guys coming out of college. I think there's some things on that. I think there's always room to grow in the pass rush area and be consistent at what you do. But I think the things he's going to show are how hard he plays, how tough he is, and how passionate he is about the game. And I think that's a part of the reason the Bears drafted him, along with a lot of other stuff. But that's going to show up.
Brian, specifically for your defense, what were his responsibilities? Was he a penetrator going upfield? What were his responsibilities in your defense?
Yeah, so he played inside for us, and there's times we set it up where he had to hold a gap, whether he was playing 3 technique, because, obviously if you can get 2 guys occupied on him, then it frees up some other guys. But we found ways to free him up because he was the best player we had on defense. And so we found ways to free him up. He was a hold-a-gap guy at times. We did a lot of movement early on with him. He's really good at that because he's really athletic. He can move. He's very sudden and quick. So we did a lot of different things with him. I've been through a few coordinators here, so we've changed up what we've done a little bit at times. But we try to do things for him to put him in a position to be successful, in whatever we're doing. But anytime you can get those guys where, several guys having to deal with them, I think that's positive for your defense.
Coach, going back to, I think you eat, right? Energy, attitude, toughness. That's what it stood for.
It's effort, attitude, and toughness. It's EAT. It's on the front of our helmet.
Got it. Effort as the E. So the Bears have hits. That's what they go by. Hustle, intensity, takeaways, being situationally smart. But I could see right away watching the film, and you touched on this earlier, just how Travis Bell sort of fits that, the way he's always hustling behind plays. So I maybe we can create a little Kennesaw State Bears pipeline here, because you guys seem to be on the same page. And I know this is your first draft pick, but you guys are still a relatively young program. I have a feeling this isn't going to be the last guy you send to the NFL.
It won't be, and we'd love to have a pipeline with the Bears. Absolutely, and I do. And like I said, I listened to the whole press conference, and I said, there's no doubt there's a match here, regardless of ability, but just the way Travis is going to walk into that program right now, that organization, he's going to have a lot of things that the Bears are establishing and been establishing there. And I think we'd love to have, we're going to have more. We're getting ready to move to Conference USA. And we're excited about that. We're going to continue to recruit great players in Georgia and Alabama that I know that'll be great fits for the Chicago Bears, especially guys that can come with a lot of effort, attitude, and toughness.
Coach, Deion Sanders was super vocal about, there was disappointed there was only one player drafted from HBCU school. I'm sure you see guys who don't get an opportunity that in your mind probably deserved one. What do you think NFL scouts perhaps miss on some of the guys that you see every day?
Well, I think, here, the scouts, for the most part, we've had every senior at least eval'd that comes through here. And so, I've tell the guys when they come here, I'm like, listen, everybody wants to go to the NFL, and I want you to go too. I said, but your resume is going to be out there on the grass on how you play and how you perform. I said, that's your resume. I said, when the scouts come through, they're going to want to see what you're about and how good a player you are. And so we've been able to do it here. We've had multiple guys that played at the next level in different capacities. Obviously, this is the first draft pick, but we have had guys play at the next level. So I think here, we've given guys opportunities. If they can go show what they can do, then they're going to have that shot at the next level. And then it's really going to be up to them how that goes. So for us, it's been okay. We haven't had any problems with it.
Brian, when you reflect back to Travis's collegiate career, what game stands out to you? Where do Bears fans need to go watch and see where, hey, this is what Travis is all about?
Oh, geez. He played a lot of football because he had a COVID year. This last year, and this is just another compliment to him, he didn't have to come back to our place. Travis could have caught a lot of places and played. He wanted to come back here. Just another testament to the kind of kid you guys are getting there in Chicago. But I'm trying to think back of all the games. I know everybody watched the Cincinnati game this year just because of the nature of the opponent. That's probably the most recent that you could see. But, gosh, he's made so many plays for us over the years. I mean, the guy's been here for 6 years, and 5 of those played, if he was healthy, every snap possible we could keep him on the field.
So, Coach, you guys are moving to Conference USA this coming season?
We're going to be transitioning this season, then officially going in 24.
Got it. Yeah. So if football fans aren't aware of Kennesaw State, you should become aware because I want to say 2015 was your first season. You've been there since the start, and right away you guys had some success winning your conference, and obviously have climbed the ranks from not existing to going up to the FBS level. I think that's a testament to what you've built there, Coach. So excited to see more of the talent coming out of there and more of your games too, because hopefully that brings some more exposure.
Absolutely. So we're the winningest startup football program in college football history. which is a pretty big honor for our kids and our staff in this place here. And we're excited about the move to Conference USA, and obviously, as you mentioned, more exposure for our program and our kids, and definitely more draft picks, and definitely hopefully a pipeline with the Chicago Bears.
Top 5 things to do in Kennesaw, Georgia when we come on down to visit you, Coach?
You're 25 minutes outside of Atlanta. Brave Stadium is 15 minutes from our place. You can do whatever you want here. That's the beauty of it.
I like it. I like it, Coach.
Hey, but before you go, what was his job that he was showing up at school with the knife in his pocket? What was he doing?
I got to go ask him, because you know what he was doing? He's sending all his money home. This is the kind of kid you got, right? So all the money he's getting, his financial aid, because he's a qualifier, he's sending all of it home. So that's why he's working. He's on full scholarship here. But I'm sure he was sending all his money home because there was probably some issues there that he was taking care of. He told me the job. I can't remember exactly what it was. He might have been working at Walmart. A lot of our guys were working at Walmart at one time.
I think it was a medical supply company.
Yeah, that sounds right. Could have been.
Yeah. So, real quick, and we will let you go here, Coach. But so, how did that work? Like, I mean, you don't hear many kids dealing with a full-time job and playing football at the same time. You still got to be enrolled in school. Like,
it's a lot.
I'm sure that you guys had to accommodate for some of that too, just as a football program, to make it all work.
We did some, and he was on the back end of his time. So he had just about finished school up when he was really diving into the full-time job all the time. Early on, he was not in the full-time job. That was sort of on the back end. But he would come in dressed. You could tell he'd been at work, for meetings and such at times. But we did. But thing about Travis is he wasn't gonna miss anything that he was supposed to be at. He understood, the commitment to the program and his teammates, and that was really important because he wanted his teammates to look up to him as a leader. And if he's missing stuff, he knew that wouldn't be the case. So that's just another testament to him.
Last one from me, Coach. He's got an uphill battle here to make the team, make the practice squad, whatever. And he's not a first-round draft pick, but he's going to be getting some money here. Like, what do you guys do to try to, prep somebody to stepping into this world where checks are coming in? You might think, coming from where he's coming from, that he's a millionaire, and it's obviously it's good money, but it's not going to last a lifetime at the same time.
Yeah, well, we give as much guidance as we can. Coach Klein, his D-line coach, does a great job with that group. They'll have some conversations, and then hopefully the people that are helping him along the way will help him as well. But we've had conversations along the way about that, and I think sometimes these guys learn a little better because they learn a little more value of the dollar simply because of what they've had to do to get to where they are versus maybe some others. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I think he values it a little bit more. And obviously we're going to do everything we can to help him make sure he's doing the right things financially for his future, for sure.
Coach Bohannon, we really appreciate the time. We'll keep an eye on the program going forward. You got some new fans, viewers, and listeners of this show. So thanks again for your time today, and good luck in the future.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian.
All
appreciate it.
There he is, Brian Bohannon, the head coach at Kennesaw State. The Owls, a heck of a, seriously, that's why I want to get into some of the program. They went above 500 their first season of existing. That's not
so
easy
impressive.
to do.
Yeah.
I don't care what level of football you're playing or what.
$75 season tickets might I can't leave you guys here, but I do,
Trip to Georgia?
Atlanta, good. I like the Heat.
Bears bye week, go down to an Owls game next year.
Why not hang in the South for, a period of your life? Get some football going on. Eat some good food.
Sounds good to me.
Well, he was awesome.